presented by CDW. I bet these are just some reactions to your Miami Vice outfits, and I'm right.
That look was made for me. I don't know. Have you seen the other gentleman? Sacrilege, but it pulls off better than the great Don Johnson. How dare you?
Your ghost account is at Fantasy Bear, and that's
Don't even need
Robinson.
one.
Dare I say the GMFE crew should host a show in Miami at least once a year. That's my ghost account.
That's it.
I like that.
What's up,
What else you
Robin?
got?
Look, Cliff Robinson testing the show.
Wow, with the headband?
Driggs?
Wow, everyone's got that Miami drip going. Nice. Hey, Empire State.
Peter, say drip again.
Drip.
No, it was a drip.
Drip.
It's good.
Having a good time, guys?
Such a good time.
This is
We're
the
people who
best.
get it, Kay, as you know.
Yeah, we just heard from Andy Reid. We are going to be joined by Von Miller and Derrick Henry in a little bit, but the Chiefs are continuing to step up to the podium. Let's send it over to a guy who's versatile, is going to be pivotal in this matchup. It's Tyrann Mathieu.
Obviously, I feel like me and Frank bring that in, but it's not anything special we do. I think it's just our character, really how we practice each and every day.
Hey, Tyrann. During the stretch early in the season when you guys lost 3 of 4, what was Coach Spagg's demeanor, and did he do anything different? Did he change? Or what was he like during that stretch?
Well, obviously he was emphasizing certain things that, we had to get better at. Felt like it was small stuff, real small details, which I feel like he do a great job of, really being a positive voice for us, very encouraging, We don't feel like he's ever wavered, throughout the season. We feel like he's been the same guy, and I think really that's what's kind of helped us get better as well defensively. Knowing we're walking into a room where, someone believes in us, he's encouraging us, and, at the end of the day, we're not that far off from, doing some of the things defensively that we wanted to do.
Tyrann, when you go back and study Jimmy Garoppolo's year, you look at the interceptions, have they mostly been ones where the defense got him, or have there been some bad luck ones? How would you characterize his turnovers, and is it something you guys think you can take advantage of?
Well, I think, first and foremost, they have a great system that they run over there. I feel like Garoppolo is doing a great job really, finding guys that can really take advantage of certain coverages, certain situations. He likes to get the ball out quick, which kind of goes into, the kind of guys that they have on their side of the ball. So, guys that can run after the catch. So it'll be important for us to kind of, disrupt the timing, slow those guys down. He does have, a hard time throwing, in tight coverage. Most quarterbacks do. So I think ultimately that'll be the goal for us to disrupt these guys at the line of scrimmage, play tight coverage, and then try to make a play on the ball.
Tyrann, I'm just curious, obviously you go from LSU to Arizona to Houston, now Kansas City, and you've seemingly grown so much, both personally and professionally. What would this Super Bowl win mean to you just on a personal level for your journey?
I mean, it'll be humbling for me. For me, it's about, the people that's around me, and, really feel so fortunate to be around a great group of guys. But for me, it'll be very humbling to be a Super Bowl champion. I think that's everything you work for in the off season to be in that position. So I think that's my goal, to try to go out here, help my team win a game, but remain humble.
Tyrann, how has the Super Bowl week been? I mean, you hear about the experience and what it's going to be, and it can be overwhelming for players. How do you think you and your teammates have handled it so far?
I think we've handled it pretty well. We're a really young team. We're vibrant. We're full of energy. We love to live life. A lot of these guys have a lot of passions, outside of football. But I'm really proud of our guys. I feel like, even last week, we took advantage of that work week. We tried to get as much information as possible. And then this week, obviously it's about, fine-tuning that on that information that you received. And, I feel like our guys are doing a good job of really just focusing on football, and I think as a leader, that's everything you can ask for from your teammates, to just focus on the game that's ahead and, try your best to prepare the right way.
Tyrann,
Troy Polamalu is on the ballot for the Hall of Fame. Just curious what your impressions of him were growing up watching him play.
I mean, Troy was probably the epitome of, playmaking, using your instincts, being football aware, just those football one-on-one things. I feel like, he was in a different, element when it came to other players. He always, for the most part, made the right decisions. And, we joke a lot about, guessing the right way. Feel like Troy guessed the right way his entire career. His anticipation, just everything he was able to do, even after he caught interceptions, being able to really show the world that athleticism, so I'm so proud for him, so happy for him.
Tyrann, I was talking to Coach Spagnuolo yesterday, and he was talking about your leadership qualities. And one of the things he said, it was a small thing, but you come in early to meetings, you sit in the front row. Have you always been a front row guy, or is that something that kind of happened over your career? And if it wasn't something you did before, when did you kind of pick that up, and why did you do that?
Well, I feel like, I've been inching my way closer as I got older. I can remember my first year in Arizona, I sat in like the third row. So I've always been a front of the room guy. I've always been a kind of football player that, just tell me to call, coach. I took all the notes in meetings, kind of know what's going on. So, I think sitting in the front of the room obviously gives you an advantage, makes you feel like, you're more involved in the process. And, obviously teammates look forward to that. And, you can see those guys scooting up as well. So, for me, it's just trying to be a positive reflection, really, of all the guys that have tried their best to lead me, show me the right way.
Hey, Tyrann, Jacob from Fox Sports Mexico. How cool would it be for you to win the Super Bowl in the same season that LSU won the Natty? And could you talk about your life experience, how in a way it could be inspiring other people off the field and off the field as well, because of everything you've been through to get to this point? Yeah,
I think, well, to answer your first question, so proud of LSU this year, and, Coach O, I think, when he inherited that program, I don't think a lot of people would have thought he would put, that program in this position. So hats off to him and, all the coaches and the recruiting staff and, Joe Burrow, all those guys have really, played great football for the program, and not just for the program, but for the state of Louisiana. And I think former players like myself appreciate those guys, appreciate the coaching staff. I think for me, it's all about falling forward, just trying to live my life, taking one day at a time, right? Trying to be in the present. And, I never really try to look forward to the future. I reflect on my past a lot. It gives me great strength and hope and encouragement. But, I try to be where my feet are, and I think that has helped me out a lot. And, I will hope that a lot of kids out there, heard what I just said, because I think we can get caught up in things that are behind us and things that are in front of us. We forget about the now. So, that'll be my message to the kids.
Tyrann, you've given Patrick Mahomes
and it's a brilliant message, of course. A veteran in the league. We've loved watching him grow up in this NFL landscape. He's at the Super Bowl now, and there's no doubt in my mind, Nate, and I think in any of our minds, that he's going to have a huge impact on this game.
No doubt about it. When you think about what San Francisco 49ers can do offensively, we forget that they can throw the ball, and they will need to throw the ball to win a Super Bowl. But on the flip side, their run game is so strong. Now, Tyrann Mathieu, being one of the most versatile talents in the business, can cover anybody on the field, but he loves to come down and thump. He will hit anybody coming out of that backfield. He can have a huge impact. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, my dark horse to win the MVP.
Wow. He said something really moving also. He said, all decade we asked Kobe or LeBron. He goes, LeBron's last tweet to Kobe was congratulating him. And he says, that's how we should all look at life and say, hey, let's move forward. We don't need to always be bickering with each other. He echoed that same message there, saying, new me, let's move forward and let's all celebrate each other. He's been wonderful this whole week.
He really has. And listen, frankly, I like hearing him talk about LSU. What an incredible football life. And I don't say this to patronize him, but I feel like we're kind of proud of him in the football world. It's incredible what he does. And Nate, I think he's going to make some big plays on Sunday. I'm with you.
I agree, man.
There's a fear that maybe, these two teams are inexperienced and they'll get too up for this game. We've seen it before many times in the Super Bowl. He'll be the reason that this team stays grounded, in my opinion.
I hear you.
He doesn't get too hot, doesn't get too low. And you pointed out in the Burr lesson, so intelligent. He's looking at tape, he's studying plays, he knows where the ball's going and what the offense is doing. So he's a pivotal player in this one. Can't wait to see how it shakes out. In 3 sleeps for us, 0 sleeps for Nate.
-3.
The Bud Light Super Bowl Music Fest returns the biggest names in music. It's a 3-day music festival. Leading up to Super Bowl 54, it features Guns N' Roses, Maroon 5, DJ Khaled, and friends, and more. You can tune into Fox on Saturday night at 11 p.m. Eastern to see highlights from all things music festival. Strobe lights, energy. I cannot wait.
What a show. What a show. Speaking of shows, James Palmer's at the Mahomes press conference waiting. Look at that.
He is waiting there for Mahomes to get grilled by his big-time questions.
What? Look at James. He's got a great spot, which means he's got a great